Nate Mattson, welcome. We want to talk about your return to the National Wrestling Alliance, but first I want to ask you a few other questions. You have time for that?
Oh, no problem.
How did you get started in wrestling?
Started out in wrestling just like most other wrestlers, a big fan growing up. About 10 years old, I just found wrestling on TV one night and was just mesmerized. A lot of greats from the early 80s. I realized that this was the greatest form of entertainment, and I was a pretty entertaining guy, so I figured, why not? And, dabbled around, went to a lot of independent shows throughout my high school years. As a teenager, there was no internet back then. I had to go from show to show, call the hotlines, read the newsletters, the dirt sheets, whatever I could find. And finally saw a commercial one day for a local independent wrestling promotion. So I decided, give it a whirl, why not? I'll go. So I went, saw these guys. I saw, some of the top local guys and realized, what? These guys, I could do this. I met Al Snow, met all these guys there, said, this is what I want to do with my life. So got in contact with a couple of wrestlers. They told me, pointed me in the right direction. They said the Can-Am Wrestling School is where you want to go. So I loaded up the truck and moved to Windsor. But not really. I went to Windsor twice a week for 7 months, trained there. It was basically the school of hard knocks. It was boot camp. Stretched me out, beat me up, taught me everything I need to know about wrestling, catch as catch can, shoot style, whatever, you name it, pro. They taught me. Scott Demore, better known from TNA, was my head coach. Irish Mickey Doyle, he was the 1970 NWA Rookie of the Year. So there started my ties with the NWA. And then the original Canadian Destroyer, who the flip pile driver is named after, Doug Chevalier, was my other trainer. He passed away in 2000, but those three guys I learned so much from about the wrestling business, and for the past 13 years I've been, doing my thing.
What are some of your signature moves that you use in the ring?
Signature moves, a lot of takedown, a lot of catch as catch can style moves. Throughout my career, known as a junior heavyweight, and now I'm trying to break out of that. A lot of high flying moves. I did a guillotine leg drop for many years. I had a move called the swinging neck bomb, devastating, tore your neck up, just 1, 2, 3, hit that on you, and it was done. Now I'm being more, I'm taking it more old school. I'm trying to realize the roots of the NWA was just about pure wrestling. You see, going back beyond Ric Flair, beyond the Greg Valentines, beyond, all the way back to the Buddy Rogers of our era, of that era, the golden age. I've been employed the figure 4 leg lock lately, and it's been very successful. I've used the figure 4 leg lock to defeat many top-notch caliber athletes around the independent circuit, and I plan on bringing the figure 4 leg lock with me to the NWA.
Now, earlier you touched on the fact that you started off very early with the NWA. Can you talk about how you got into it and how the NWA influenced you? Yeah,
definitely. Probably right after I started wrestling for Border City Wrestling in the mid to late 90s, a promotion came along that was from Michigan, promoted by a guy called Gene Miller. He was trained by Dutch Mantell, and a real hardcore guy, one of the toughest dudes that you'll ever meet. Bald, mean, ugly-looking dude. And he started running, he joined up with the NWA in Michigan. And from there, I had great opportunities. A lot of times to travel. We traveled throughout the Great Lakes and wrestled some of the top stars of the NWA in the late 90s.
What are some of your accomplishments in the NWA?
Well, dating back to the NWA Michigan from the late 90s, we had I was first ever NWA Michigan Tag Team Champion. Held those titles. We defended them against Canadian Bad Boys of Otis Apollo, Irish Bobby Clancy, numerous guys. Then I broke out into my singles career, decided that singles was the way to go, so I started wrestling the junior heavyweight division. Won the NWA Michigan junior heavyweight title 3 times. Defended it, actually won it for the second time in Nashville at the NWA Anniversary Showcase in Nashville, Tennessee. Wrestled the former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion Logan Kane. Came this close to beating him numerous occasions. Was ranked 3rd in the world for the junior heavyweight division title. So a lot of experiences in the NWA. I mean, even coming out of that era, I had good things to say about the NWA, and I think I started to make a name for myself, which kind of helped later in my career.
Now, you have a long history with Chris Sabin. Can you elaborate on that?
Definitely. Chris Sabin, actually, right around the year 2000, like I mentioned, my previous trainer, Doug Chevalier, he was one of the trainers of the NWA Michigan Wrestling School. He unfortunately passed away in the year 2000, and they needed someone to co-train the school. And I gladly did it, anything for Doug. And pretty soon, Chris Sabin joined the school. Immediately, this kid was an awesome athlete, soccer background, had lots of just natural athletic ability. And so took a liking to him. We became fast friends and kind of, quote unquote, took him under my wing. And pretty much from there, we were inseparable on the independent circuit for several years. Chris Sabin, I wrestled him in his very first singles match, was against me. And from then I could tell, he just had it. He had that it factor. Traded the NWA Michigan Junior Heavyweight title with him. We even were a tag team for a short while, took on the Road Warriors before Hawk passed away. So, and then even when Sabin joined TNA, when NWA and TNA were involved together, I wrestled Sabin in Nashville for the X Division title. So, and even recently, a couple of years back, took on the Machine Guns with his partner Alex Shelley, who's another Can-Am graduate. So long history with Chris Sabin. Good friend, great wrestler. Nothing but good things to say about Chris Sabin.
Well, getting back to business, let's talk about Northern Championship Wrestling. That's why we're here today. What are your goals for Northern Championship Wrestling?
Well, as soon as I heard about Northern Championship Wrestling and their vision to bring the NWA full scale back to Michigan, when NWA Michigan was running strong in the late '90s and early 2000, I was one of their mainstays. And you couldn't say NWA Michigan without saying Nate Mattson. Amazing Nate Mattson was NWA Michigan. And there was many things I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to be heavyweight champion. And now that the NWA is presenting this gauntlet for the gold on October 31st in Plymouth, Michigan, 10-man gauntlet for the gold, some of the best wrestlers in this area will be competing for the first ever NWA Northern Heavyweight Championship. And I said to myself, I wanted to win a heavyweight title in the NWA, and this has been a long goal, and I never thought it would happen. I never thought it would come to fruition. But now that Northern Championship Wrestling is presenting NWA back in Michigan, my home state, there's a good possibility, that I could walk out of this 10-man gauntlet on Halloween night as the first ever NWA Northern Heavyweight Champion. I mean, that to me, after a long career, would really be a big highlight for me. And when you think of the guys that are in this match, Zach Gowen, 6'9" monster Eddie Venom, CK3, one of the top technical wrestlers from around, Gutter, another veteran, CJ Otis, Phil Atlas. I mean, those guys have spent time in All Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, I'm talking top caliber athletes are coming to Northern Championship Wrestling on Halloween night in Plymouth, Michigan. So that's my goal. My goal is to be Northern Heavyweight Champion. And if by hook or by crook, Amazing Nate Mattson is going to walk out of here with the title.
Nate, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you very, very much.
Well, you know what? I appreciate the time, and we're going to find out Halloween night if Amazing Nate Mattson is truly Michigan's main attraction.